Hi again, I'm James from Enterprise IoT Insights. I'm here at the Things Conference. I'm joined by Franco Zampicinini.
Zampicinini, nice to meet you.
Apologies. Franco, nice to have you with us. Just give us an introduction, if you can, about the company, what you do, your place in the market, this kind of stuff.
Okay, we are based in Italy. Our company is Enginko, and previously was MCF88. Since we joined two companies, one for the IoT, MCF88, and one for the vending, that is RF Tech. Now we have a unique company that is Enginko. Same people, same product, better service. We are in the LoRaWAN since the beginning. I'm in this company since 5 years ago, and I saw all the evolution of this market, of this technology. And so we have a lot of experience both on the technology itself, on the solution, and the issue that the customer usually found on this product. I'm a technical sales engineer after 3 years of hardware development, so I can help with my knowledge about the product. So I'm confident on what our product can offer and can solve.
Okay, thank you. And you are playing in the kind of the smart city space, to an extent the smart building space. There's a bit of crossover between the two, of course, and there are a lot of companies here, or some at least, who are doing similar things, you know, temperature sensors, air conditioning sensors, some of this kind of stuff. Just talk about how you kind of stand out, what your kind of selling point is, if you like.
Mainly, we have three different line of products. We have the environmental sensor, like the weather station, on the air quality sensor that can be used for both for agriculture or smart city. And then we have a series of general purposes interfaces, can be Modbus to master, or analog input devices, or digital input-output devices that are agnostic to the application, since the end user can choose the best sensor for its application and can make it LoRaWAN connected through our interfaces, because it's not possible to make all the sensor LoRaWAN. So it's useful to provide a way to connect the sensor to the LoRaWAN network. And for the environmental sensor, for other kind of sensor like the level sensor or the energy meter, we had experience, so we can provide the full sensor ready to use. But in other case, we can provide an interface to connect the sensor, because we are proud for our hardware, but we cannot provide all the sensor that can solve any problem.
Okay, and you're showing a few. You've got a few products with you. You have got some new products. There's a couple here. I believe the smart kind of energy plug, if you like, and the depth sensor. Just talk about those, what they do. You know, who they're pitched to.
After 5 years of experience, we redesigned some products like the smart plug. So we have a new platform where we have the function of the previous one, and we improve the way to set up the sensor and the resolution of the sensor, and also we reduce the cost. We have a new platform or sensor where we replace the NFC interface with the Bluetooth, so it's easier to configure the sensor also in hard to reach location. The smart plug is very, very powerful because it is very accurate. It has a 0.2% of error, so you can make the bill for the energy consumption without error to the end user. On the same platform with the Bluetooth, we have a distance sensor that can be used for the waste management up to 1 meter, 1.5 meter, or for flooding river monitor up to 7 meter. Our target is to have sensor easy to use, to configure, with low maintenance and long life. Our sensor has internal battery for the level sensor that can last minimum 5 years, but can last up to 8 years with no problem. And speaking about general purposes interfaces, we have the actuator that is a simple device with one relay output and one digital input, but can be used in any kind of application where you have to do something. So you can open or close a port, you can move, you can drive a motor, a valve, and it's very flexible, tiny, so you can use it in constrained spaces. And in addition, we have also the weather station, that is a Davis Vantage Pro 2 weather station, that is the best weather station with the right price on the market. You can find replacement all over the world, and we added our LoRaWAN interfaces to make this weather station connected to the LoRaWAN. We cannot build a full weather station, so we choose the best on the market and we made it LoRaWAN.
Okay, and the actuator and the weather station have been on sale for some time. Those are products you've had out and have been a relative success, I guess.
Yeah. In terms of numbers, the actuator in its simplicity is, the best-selling product, because you can use it in any application to turn on, turn off something. The weather station is not the best-selling in terms of quantities, but in terms of revenue, for sure, because it is a device that is very reliable with a higher cost. But if you think about the return of investment in the life of the weather station, is the best choice.
Okay, and these sound like kind of enterprise grade kind of products which you're selling to cities typically and kind of industrial companies, this kind of stuff. I mean, this one almost sounds like a consumer product, but I'm guessing with that kind of accuracy reading, it's targeted really at the industrial space. Is that correct?
Yes, depend. Honestly, since the 90% of the sales are made through distributor or integrators, we don't know who is the end user of the sensor, and in some cases we lose some feedback from the market. But when we sell directly to the customer, we start from the beginning to understand the needs of the customer to avoid misunderstanding during the life of the sensor, because the sales of the sensor start before the sensor itself, but from the first contact with the customer.
Okay, and is there an event like this? Is it useful to kind of bring the supply chain together to an extent a little bit to find out some of that, that end user feedback, to have better insight into that? Is that important? How are you going about achieving that?
Sorry, but maybe I don't understand your question.
So just around the insight which you perhaps lack at the moment because you're not selling directly to the end users. How do you solve that? How are you going about kind of getting a closer understanding of that kind of feedback?
Okay, now it's clear. Sorry for my question. If we pass through distributor or integrator, we try to have a partnership with distributor integrators to make the distributor integrator the Enginko face of the business from the customer point of view. So we work a lot to make a sort of cooperation with the distributor and with the integrator, because the sensor is not only the hardware, but is what it can provide, the support and the tools that you can provide to the sensor.
Okay. And Franco, talk about, LoRaWAN, we're here, this is a LoRaWAN event, just talk about that. You've kind of grown up with LoRaWAN a little bit through the last 5-6 years, whatever. Talk about why LoRaWAN, and is there a view to include NB-IoT, that some of this kind of stuff? Just what's your view on all of that?
We start with LoRaWAN at the beginning, and we start with the classic use case of the LoRaWAN, so sensing something and send data. So with battery powered device with a long life. But during this year we saw that with LoRaWAN you can also do things. So we introduced the actuator, so you can open, close contact and so on. But in some cases NB-IoT can be complementary because it supersedes some limitation of the LoRaWAN. But I think they are not against each other, but complementary. Where you have to move something, where you have a lot of data and the problem of the power consumption is not so important, you can use NB-IoT. But if you have to put sensor with long life and in far away location, LoRaWAN is the winning technology.
Okay, and Franco, how have you found the Things Conference this year? And what have you kind of noticed in terms of the change in the ecosystem over the last few years?
Since this is the first edition that we attend as with our booth, I noticed that people now learned what is LoRaWAN. Now people ask for the solution, and for people LoRaWAN is something that is common. So we don't have to explain what is LoRaWAN, how it works, or the limitation or the advantages, but only we focus on the solution.
Lovely. Franco, I think our time's up, but thank you very much. Apologies about the pronunciation at the start, but we'll catch you again. Thanks very much. You can. I'll be back in a few minutes with Pepel and Fuchs. See you then.